Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. My name is Camel. Today we're going to endeavor on a journey, Daedric in nature, to obtain the Unbreakable Lockpick, the Daedric artifact of Nocturnal, the Skeleton Key. While I'm sure all of you seasoned Oblivion players have obtained this item many a time throughout the years, perhaps you will learn something new. As always, we'll be doing a full quest walkthrough. We'll take a look at the Skeleton Key and how it works in Oblivion and Oblivion Remastered, along with some very strange hidden features it bears. And then we'll also talk about the lore of the Skeleton Key throughout the entire Elder Scrolls series. Now, timestamps can be found down in the description if you're looking for something specific. If you are into these kind of videos, be sure to check out the Oblivion Remastered playlist down below. And while you're down there, check out my social media links along with the merch store, where you can get all kinds of enchanted items, like this Camel Elder Scrolls blanket. It's winter here in Sydney now, and I've got this thing equipped 24/7. But for now, without further hesitation, sit back, relax, while we unlock the delicate pins of the Skeleton Key. So the first thing we are going to need to do is ensure that our character is level 10 or higher. If you are below level 10, you will be unable to obtain the needed quest. So provided we are a seasoned enough adventurer and at least level 10, we will want to make our way to the Shrine of Nocturnal. Daedric, Prince of Night, Darkness and Mystery, Shadow Thief, the Unfathomable Mother of Shadows, Lady of the Night, Twilight, Shadows and Luck, Mistress of Shadows, Night Mistress, Daughter of Twilight, Empress of Murk, Shadow Queen, Prince of Night and Twilight, Saint of Suspicion. Some even designate Nocturnal as Urdra, implying she is the elder and most powerful of the Daedric princes, although this thought can be heavily contested. Now on the map, Nocturnal's Shrine, or as it's called in-game, Nocturnal Shrine, can be found right here. It's to the north of Leyawiin and just a bit off the main road. Once we arrive at our destination, we can spot a clutch of Nocturnal's cultists, along with the Prince's Shrine across a titchy candlelit bridge. As to be expected, we can see her statue is accompanied by two of her Crow Daedra Knight Messengers of the Black Feather Court and Exarchs of Dross. As far as I can tell, these two birds that are always seen with her don't have specific names, and everyone on Twitter was as helpful as you'd expect. So tell me, what do you think some good names for these birds would be? Anyway, now that we're here, let's see what these followers of Nocturnal have to say for themselves. Hi.
We are not afraid of the dark. The Night Mistress gives us eyes to see night's secrets.
Nice one. Hello there.
We seek what the darkness hides, and the Night Mistress is our guide.
Okay, what about you? Are you normal?
What is your business in this place?
Tell me about the Shrine of Nocturnal.
You should not be in this place. What is your business here? Do you believe yourself worthy to speak to Nocturnal?
While I am only passing through, I also wish to approach the shrine.
Perhaps you have been summoned. Perhaps Nocturnal desires your service and has guided you here. Approach the shrine, if you dare. I'm through talking to you.
I think she likes me. Well, now let's approach and interact with the shrine. Touch her right on the foot.
Night among strangers. Secrets in the dark. Nocturnal is here. But my eye is blind and proud, stolen from its shrine and hid in dark waters. To steal from a god is most unwise. In Leyawiin, two Argonians think themselves secret, but the eye has seen them. Find these thieves in the city that spans the waters. Learn where they hide my eye. Retrieve the eye of Nocturnal, mortal, and return it to me, and I shall look favorably upon you.
After this conversation, we will be given the quest titled Nocturnal. When summoned, Nocturnal spoke to me of the Eye of Nocturnal, which has been stolen. The Daedra believes the thieves to be in Leyawiin. I'm going to go there, find the thieves, and return the eye to the shrine. We've been chosen. What do you have to say to that?
You have been set on a path. Follow it.
Well, she's right. So we'll need to follow said path and make our way south to the swampy city of Leyawiin. On the map, it is found right down at the bottom of Cyrodiil, crowning Topal Bay. Once here, we need to ask around about the Eye of Nocturnal, but weirdly, no one seems to have any idea what we're talking about. Best we speak to one of the city guards, as there is a sneaky deception with the dialogue options. You ever heard of the Eye of Nocturnal?
Eye of Nocturnal? Doesn't sound familiar to me.
Nothing. But if we select the subject of Leyawiin,
Weebam-Na Bejeen have been bragging about some big score they made recently. They claim it's a valuable jewel. Who knows with those two?
aha, tell me about Bejeen.
She wasn't a bad sort until she hooked up with that rascal Weebam-Na. That's where you're likely to find her, at Weebam-Na's house.
And Weebam-Na?
He's always got some scam going with Bejeen, his partner. You might find them both at Weebam-Na's house.
Thanks for the scoop. Now we'll head over to Weebam-Na's house. On the local map it can be found here, although it's probably easier to just follow the quest marker as these local maps are too zoomed in for my liking. Once here, head inside. When we head inside, we can find both of our scaly subjects, Bejeen and Weebam-Na. Made for hire?
I'm Bejeen. I'm a hunter and Weebam-Na's partner. I hope he didn't bother you about the rat thing. He's gone totally rat cuckoo, I'm afraid.
Speaking of rats, I smell one. Have you heard of the Eye of Nocturnal?
Why? Why would you ask? I've never heard of it. No idea what you're talking about. And Weebam-Na doesn't know either.
Never heard of it. Oh, really? Well, let's see what Weebam-Na has to say about it.
Rats. Hate them. Hate them. Everyone. Gonna hunt them down and chop them all to tiny bits. Oh, did I say that out loud? Excuse me. I'm Weebam-Na the hunter. You got to excuse me. I got rats on my mind.
You haven't heard of the Eye of Nocturnal, have you?
Never heard of the thing, and neither has Bejeen. You ask too many questions.
I don't want to stereotype, but he's lying. The quest will update with Weebam-Na denies knowing anything about the Eye of Nocturnal and tells me Bejeen knows nothing either. Perhaps I should try to listen in on their conversations and see if they offer any clues. The best thing to do is just walk outside, sneak, and then head back into their house.
But what if the trolls eat it?
Trolls don't like water. Trolls don't swim. The eye is perfectly safe in Tidewater Cave, so relax.
I overheard Bejeen and Weebam-Na speaking of Tidewater Cave and the treasure they've hidden there. I should investigate the cave. So, you guessed it, we'll need to make our way south to Tidewater Cave. On the map it can be found right down at the bottom of Blackwood. Now be warned, there are trolls patrolling the exterior. The second I tried to get footage of these trolls, they spotted the cameraman. I skipped blue and red and went straight to brown alert. These trolls are tough and vicious, so be wary and try not to get trolled like I did. Now once we head inside, we're going to encounter a similar vein as the exterior, as Tidewater Cave will welcome us with a ferocious assortment of bears and trolls. So again, be warned and wary. Although I did discover that bears can swim underwater and can be blocked by stalactites, so that's new. Once the cave has been cleared, from the entrance we will want to walk straight ahead and then take a left and head down into the shallow water. Once we see this torch on the left, we'll want to turn all the way to the left, then swim down into this flooded tunnel, where at the bottom we will find a chest that of course must be looted, but if we look up and to the right, we will find it, the Eye of Nocturnal. And I do believe you can come straight here and grab the eye after speaking to Nocturnal in the first place. But where's the watch time in that? Now just quickly, I believe this Eye of Nocturnal might actually be a little Easter egg and nod to the Eye of Argonia, which was a cancelled Elder Scrolls game. We have two Argonians who have now lost the Eye of Nocturnal, just as we the consumer lost the Eye of Argonia. Could be connected, could not be, you tell me. Anyway, for now, grab the Eye of Nocturnal. I found the Eye of Nocturnal. I should return to the shrine, so we will do just that, back to the Shrine of Nocturnal, where, fittingly, night has engrailed to this crepuscular Sakellum.
My eye is returned, and I once again see into the darkness that is your world. We mock the thieves, for bitter is their loss. may take this. It shall open the secrets of dark places for you.
Nocturnal was pleased that I have returned the Eye of Nocturnal. I have been rewarded with the Skeleton Key. A true statement, as now within our inventory we can find the Skeleton Key. It has a weight of 0 and a whopping value of 5,000 septims. But this little gadget has some other tricks up its sleeve. Firstly, and most famously, it acts as a lockpick, but has one extremely overpowered trait. It is unbreakable. You can literally just auto-attempt every lock for the rest of the game with a 100% success rate. Sure, it might take a few tries, but who cares? You can never break it. Just spam auto attempt and everything will be unlocked. Lockpicking will never be an issue to you ever again. On top of this, the Skeleton Key supersedes any lockpicks in your inventory. So when you interact with a locked item, the game will automatically default to using the Skeleton Key, regardless of how many lockpicks you're carrying on you. Now, along with these god tier uses, as long as the Skeleton Key is in your inventory, it will boost your security skill by a colossal 40 points as a constant active effect, which is really insane. Most items boost a skill by 3, 5, maybe 10 points if you're lucky, but 40 points by the 9. Well, I guess this is a Daedric artifact. We shouldn't reference the Aedra. Okay, by the 16. Or, well, it's 17 if you count Jiggalag, but kind of the same thing as Sheogorath. And it's maybe 18 if you count Jiggalag and Dethelia, but she got deleted from existence, so could be 16, 17, or 18. Then you have the Dead Daedric Prince of Deadlight. Then you have the Forebearers of Fargrave, if you want to count them. Do we count Lorcan as a Daedra as well? No. 60, 17, 18, 5, I'll forget it. Let's just say by the 9. 40 points. That's crazy. I mean, as if the Skeleton Key didn't already make lockpicking easy enough. Now, it's important to mention that this boost to the security skill can take your security skill beyond 100. This is good, but you cannot gain experience towards leveling your security skill further as long as it remains above 100. So if you do wish to get your security skill to 100, you will have to remove the Skeleton Key from your inventory. I would suggest putting it somewhere safe, like storage within one of your player homes, or you can drop it on the ground next to you like I did and then use the fast security leveling trick. Check the guide above if you want to learn how to do that. Once your security skill reaches 100, you can pick the Skeleton Key back up, whereupon your security skill will be boosted all the way to 140. Now beyond this, while the Skeleton Key acts as a lockpick, the game doesn't consider it a lockpick. So if you were just going about your business and accidentally punch a guard in the face twice...
Speak. Stop! You violated the law. Hope you rot, criminal scum.
And get sent to prison, the Skeleton Key will be taken off you, while a single lockpick will remain in your inventory. But don't worry, you will get it back after you serve your time. Just don't expect your character to slip this gizmo into their prison pocket, that's all I'm saying. Now, something else rather interesting and somewhat occult that the Skeleton Key does, this 40-point fortification to our security skill is considered an ability by the game. That, while the Skeleton Key is within our inventory, it not only applies said fortification to our character, but the game counts this as our character fortifying their own security skill. Which all sounds very squibbly wibbly. What does that even mean? / why are you telling me? Well, because the game sees this Skeleton Key skill fortification as something our character is doing to themselves, the game goes, oh, this character must have access to the Fortify skill magic ability. So if we head to an altar of enchanting, we can see that we have access to the Fortify skill magical ability, and the same goes for the altar of spellmaking. However, if we drop the Skeleton Key, we can see that we now don't have access to Fortify skill. That's because this character hasn't learnt that magic, and because I've dropped the Skeleton Key. But when I pick it up again, it's right back there as an option. So that's a thing, it might be useful, might not be, it's up to you. But regardless, it's a Skeleton Key mechanic that exists, so now you know about it. Now, as far as in-game goes, that's about all I can tell you about the Daedric artifact of Nocturnal, the Skeleton Key. Oh, except for one more thing. If you give Martin Septim the Skeleton Key for the main quest, Blood of the Daedra, despite it being destroyed, the plus 40 fortification to security may sometimes remain on your character, and sometimes it won't. But I mean, who on Nern would hand over the skeleton key to be destroyed? You'd have to be madder than the mudcrab merchant. But if you have any other bonus facts about the skeleton key, please let us all know down below in the comments. I'd love to read it. So now that we know everything about the skeleton key within Oblivion Remastered, let's talk about the lore of the skeleton key and its appearances in the other Elder Scrolls games. The skeleton key first appeared in 1994's The Elder Scrolls Arena, in which it was just called the Skeleton's Key, as this was before the Daedra had been added to the Elder Scrolls lore in Daggerfall by Ted Peterson, who is the original writer for the Elder Scrolls games, and I do have a full interview with him linked above if you'd like to check that out. He is literally Sheogorath. And by literally, I mean that's not a metaphor. Sheogorath is literally Ted Peterson, just in the Elder Scrolls. Anyway, in Arena, the skeleton key would give you the ability to open a lock of level 25 or lower once per day. The power of the skeleton's key is very simple indeed. With it, any non-magically locked door or chest is instantly accessible to even the clumsiest of lockpickers. The two limitations placed on the key by wizards who sought to protect their storehouses were that the key could only be used once a day and it would never be the property of one thief for too long. Some of those who have possessed the key have made themselves rich before it disappeared. Others have broken into places they never should have entered. So it's not as powerful as it is in Oblivion, but we can see its roots in how it became what we know the artifact as today. It then appeared in 1996's The Elder Scrolls II Daggerfall, where it was once again called the Skeleton's Key. However, with the introduction of the Daedric princes into the game world of the Elder Scrolls, it is now an artifact associated with the Daedric prince Nocturnal, whose summoning day is the 8th of Hearthfire. Now, upon completing Nocturnal's quest, the player would receive the Skeleton's Key and this message. The power of the Skeleton's Key is very simple indeed. With it, any non-magically locked door or chest is instantly accessible to even the clumsiest of lockpickers. A particularly skillful lockpicker may even open some magically barred doors with the key. The two limitations placed on the key by wizards who sought to protect their storehouses were that the key could only be used once a day, and it would never be the property of one thief for too long. Some of those who have possessed the key have made themselves rich before it disappeared. Others have broken into places they never should have entered. Once a day, this key allows one to open one non-magical lock, or a good chance at opening a low-level magical lock. Basically, it's what we saw in Arena, but now it can open magical stuff as well. And when the Skeleton's Key is equipped in Daggerfall, it also increases your dodging skill by 15 points. After that, it then appeared within 2002's The Elder Scrolls III Morrowind, where it was known as what we know it as today, the Skeleton Key. While it is still an artifact of Nocturnal, it is acquired via a Thieves Guild quest from Gentleman Jim Stacy, rather than through interaction with the Daedric Prince herself. It is a high-quality Daedric lockpick that should open any door in the game apart from quest-related barred doors. However, in Morrowind, the Skeleton Key only has 50 uses, so pick wisely. It then appeared in 2004's Nokia N-Gage exclusive The Elder Scrolls Travel's Shadowkey, where it can be looted from a chest and seems to have no relation to an interaction with Nocturnal, although it is of course still an artifact belonging to her. When it is picked up, a message will appear. Your shadow extends and falls over the corpses of the fallen. You hear popping, grinding. The Skeleton Key appears. Various locked doors can be bypassed with this Skeleton Key. Now in-game it can unlock any 10 locks before it crumbles. Interestingly, the Skeleton Key is the only Daedric artifact to appear in the Elder Scrolls Travel's Shadowkey. And no, the key on the game art cover is not the Skeleton Key, but rather fittingly a Shadowkey. It then appeared within 2006's The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion, and of course therefore right here in The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion Remastered, but we've covered all that. After Oblivion, it appeared in 2011's The Elder Scrolls V Skryim and Skyrim's 417 different versions, editions, and releases, where it could be obtained from Mercer Frey, the now ex-leader of the Thieves Guild. In-game, it functioned as it does here in Oblivion, as a lockpick with infinite uses that can never break. However, it was required that the skeleton key be returned to Nocturnal in the Twilight Sepulchre to complete the questline. As so, the Ebonmere would remain open and luck could flow into the world, specifically into the Thieves Guild of Riften. And finally, the skeleton key appears within 2014's The Elder Scrolls Online, where it functions more as a piece of a plot and not something that we, the player character, can actually use and interact with. Now, the lore of the Shadowkey is rather broad and brief. The artifact of Nocturnal functions as a tool to unlock all things, including things far beyond the everyday locked chest or door. Things like unlocking hidden potential, portals, mines, truths, and other unknown possibilities. Its ultimate purpose, however, is to unlock and hold open the Ebonmere, a gateway to the Evergloam, Nocturnal's plane of oblivion. There is, however, an interesting piece of Khajiit mythology that involves the skeleton key, as it is said that Fadomai, also known as Padome, Padu, Sithis, Akel, El, Serpent, Evil, Kota, and the Dark in other cultures, but in Khajiit, Fadomai, before dying, entrusted Azura, that being Azura, with the names of all gates and thresholds, and the names of all the spirits, and the names of all Khajiit that would ever live. And thus, Azura is described as the keeper of all gates and keys, all rims and thresholds. Noctra, Nocturnal, when the opportunity was right, stole the skeleton key from Azura. Noctra then used the skeleton key on herself. This caused her form to become as shadow and cloth, a cloak of darkness, and grow mighty, taller than the rest, until it went on to blend with the night itself. Now, whether the skeleton key that Noctra stole from Azura is the same key gifted to Azura from Fadomai cannot be known. But it's an interesting thought nonetheless, and this Khajiit mythology certainly brings up some intriguing bridges between Nocturnal, Sithis, and the Void. Speculations and discussions for another day, or night in the case of Nocturnal. But for now, young hero of Kavach, you know everything that I know about the skeleton key, both here in Oblivion Remastered, its appearances in previous Elder Scrolls games, and its place within the lore across the Elder Scrolls series. Now, if you do have anything to add, I'd love to hear it in the comments down below. I'm sure there's plenty of hidden things tucked away in Oblivion Remastered, and bits and bobs about the skeleton key that I could possibly have missed. After all, I'm only human.
At least, that's what I want you to think.
Now, I do hope you found this video helpful. I do hope you learned something new, or I just hope that you found it enjoyable. If you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing. There are plenty more Oblivion Remastered videos coming, so check out the playlist link down in the description. Down there you can also find all of my social media links. Be sure to check all of them out. And if you did enjoy this video and you would like to support the channel in a more personal way, please feel free to leave a super thanks right here on YouTube. Be sure to check out the merch store and pick up some cool items like this Camel Elder Scroll blanket. And until next time, I have been Camel. I would like to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very shortly in the next video. I'll see you there soon.